Hello, and welcome to this episode of Demystified as we explore home cooking in a modern world. Hello, I'm Linda, and I'm here with Ethan Yong. Hello, Ethan.
Hi, Linda. How's it going? Thanks so
Very
much for
good.
having me.
Oh, it's great to finally get you in front of a microphone. Ethan has started up a fantastic business during a pandemic, which I find really amazing. That while other people were sort of going to ground and locking the doors and trying to just get through the day, you've started another business, UmamiPapi olive oil, chili oil.
That's correct.
Amazing,
That's
yeah. So how did you
yeah, it's
get started, Ethan? Why the interest in chili oil?
well, chili oil is something that I've actually been making for many years. It's something that I've always really enjoyed eating myself, whether it be me making it at home or going to different restaurants and trying their chili oils, because I know every restaurant makes their own, so it's always something different, right? So it was always something that I looked forward to trying. And I kind of thought that maybe, perhaps everyone should try it because my friend actually gave me the idea to start selling it. He bought some chili oil himself and posted it on Instagram, and I thought, oh, that's a good idea to start selling chili oil, because he bought it off somebody else that sells it, and then he was like, "You should do it." Uh, and I think that just kind of was the catalyst to start all this, because I just got really inspired. I thought, if other people were doing this and there's other food businesses that are selling these products on Instagram, why can't I, give it a crack, considering we were in stage 4 lockdowns. Oh, it was actually, no, right before stage 4 lockdown. So pretty much still in lockdown. So, we had a lot of spare time at home, and I thought, why not? Since I was going to make a batch that weekend anyway for myself. So that's how it really started off, I guess.
Wow, that's amazing. And stage 4 lockdown was just it worked. We've managed to control the virus, so it was a good time to use that time productively, I think. Looking at your product, you've got this amazing sort of mix of great flavors. Is it a secret recipe that you've had in your family, or have you developed it yourself from time, things that you've tried, and did you change the recipe very often?
That's a really good question. I do get this question a lot, but with your one, you did go into a bit more detail, which is good because it gives me a bit more to explain. But to answer the first part, no, it's not actually a family recipe. I'm of Chinese Malaysian background, and Chinese Malaysians don't really eat chili oil. We eat something called sambal, which is kind of like a shrimpy chili paste, almost like a sauce as well, but not oil. But I've always enjoyed spice, and I've loved spicy food. And when I started making it a few years ago, I kind of just focused on just making a really hot, really spicy chili oil that didn't really have anything else to it, but it was just, spicy chili oil, which is what most people are usually used to.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I got the idea from my friend to start selling it, that's when I decided, I know a lot of people don't like spice and can't handle spice, and people that don't enjoy spice, it's usually pretty hard for them to switch sides. So I thought, if I can, cultivate the flavor a little bit, add a little bit of a twist, maybe people can enjoy it for something more than what it just is, where it's just spice, where it's just chili oil. So I wanted to make it with a bit more oomph. So I started to research different recipes online through YouTube, through Google, to try and get a little bit more seasonings involved in the chili oil. So when I was doing the research, I looked into different ratios, different ingredients, different oils to use, and there's not a lot of concrete detail out there. It's really up to the trial and error in the kitchen. So there was a lot of late
Wow.
nights, a lot of wasted batches, a lot of ones that were too spicy, too bitter, too salty, too granularly, and I was just not satisfied with it for a while. So I kept going at it because I knew I could make it really, really good. So eventually I got to a stage where I was really happy with the balance of all the ingredients and the recipe. And that's when I decided to sell it, which was on the 20th of July earlier this year. And I don't think it's gotten to the point that it is now. Sorry, let me rephrase. I don't think there's no way that the first jars I sold is the same sort of quality as the jars that I'm currently selling now, just because from about July to September there was still a lot of learning involved during the cooking process. So not necessarily the ingredients changing, but the processes involved to really deepen the flavors. And those things that I learned kind of just came along the way when I was in the kitchen, and there were things I wasn't too happy with, but I couldn't figure out the reason why it wasn't working a certain way. But over time and over trial and error, I eventually would figure things out. And now I think I don't want to say it's at its perfect point because I always feel like I'm trying to make it better, but it's at a really, really, really delicious and good level right now.
Well, there's two questions I'd like to ask you from that. And one is, do you like cooking anyway? Are you, happy pottering around in the kitchen any other time, or is it just making chili oil?
So yes, I am very, very into my food and cooking. It's something that I just really enjoy doing because the outcome is that you get to enjoy it and you get to eat it. And I really do enjoy just trying different cuisines. I've done a lot of traveling when I was in university. So, I was always looking forward to going to different countries, trying the different foods. I watched a lot of Anthony Bourdain as well, and I'm a big fan of his work. I've read a lot of his books as well. So he kind of, inspired me in this realm of food and cooking. And the hospitality industry was always very fascinating to me, but something that I was never able to tap into just because I've got a commerce degree and, I work at an accounting firm. So yeah, it's cooking is definitely something that I'm very passionate about. So the fact that I'm able to tap into this industry now with my own product is something that I'm really grateful for, actually.
Well, it's amazing. And that's not actually how we know each other, because being an accountant as well, I didn't realize that until just before we started recording. So that's just a coincidence, guys. It's not design. And the second question was about I guess the choice of, flavorings. I can see, I can't eat mushrooms, so I've been reluctant to try your oil because I'm never sure which sort of mushrooms will make me sick. But I see this amazing blend that you've got. My favorite, star anise. I love star anise. And I love chili. I'm a real fan of chili at home. We go through a lot of sambal oelek and chili flakes. It's sort of probably my favorite spice after salt. And yeah, this is just this great blend. It looks beautiful on your website. How you've got this amazing sort of mix of flavors, and I take my hat off to you for trying it.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Linda. I know the mushrooms are a very small makeup of everything else. Hopefully, that is some sort of consolation to maybe it's a risk worth taking to try it. But obviously, I don't want to.
I have thought about it, Ethan. I have thought about it. I'm just after Christmas. Let's get through Christmas,
After
and
Christmas.
then I don't mind if I need to, if I need to not go out for a little while. But yeah, no, it just looks amazing, and I think it's a great story. One of the things that I love also was when I was reading that you love it with so many different types of food, things that I would not normally associate chili oil with or chili with, like lamb. I thought that was
Yeah.
some of the things that you suggest we try it with as a user of your product are quite diverse.
Yes, it's the I suppose the chili oil has kind of opened up a lot of doors for a lot of people, including myself, because at the start my goal was just to have as many people possible to just try my chili oil, because it was a very rewarding feeling being able to see everyone enjoying it. Uh, but while this was happening and while people were sharing these photos of the meals that they were having with on Instagram, I started to get ideas of the different foods that people were trying it with. And then that's when it kind of kicked off the fact that I had suddenly realized, oh wow, I think I may have created an extremely versatile chili oil, because there are a lot of Asian ingredients in there. So the foundation is probably Asian, but I think the flavors aren't too overpowering to allow you to put it on something that wasn't Asian food, such as, you know, a pizza or a pasta. Or my favorite one would be oysters, because somebody had started sharing photos of putting it on fresh oysters, and I thought, I had never thought ever in my life to do that. But then when I tried it myself, I think I realized the cold, fleshy oyster with, you know, the taste of the sea in combination with a spicy, oily, crispy oil is just a fantastic combination. And it's really great to be able to see this whole community that has been created around UmamiPapi, everybody sharing their food. And, you know, because I get to repost what people post too, so my whole audience gets to get these ideas, and it's really great. It's really great to be able to share it with everyone. And yeah, it is a versatile chili oil that can be put on pretty much anything.
Wow, oysters. That's actually quite amazing. I'd never even thought of that because I love it on pasta. I personally put a lot of chili on pasta and polenta. We use it a lot in all sorts of, ways at home when we're cooking. And but I've never thought of oysters. That's quite a new take, I must say. Do you have any sort of other products coming out, Ethan? Is it just focusing on chili oil at the moment, or have you got something else that you're working on at the moment?
Well, right now the product of UmamiPapi is chili oil, and I know as I'm entering this industry of food manufacturing, down the track I will have to start releasing more products if I want to keep continuing to grow this business. So I actually had a chat with my chef the other week that works very closely with me in the kitchen. He's of Italian Australian background, and he's very passionate about Italian cooking. And he has cooked me numerous amounts of delicious Italian meals. His name is Damien, by the way. And I decided to speak to Damien with an idea I had about perhaps releasing an UmamiPapi red sauce. So a red sauce that can be a base for pastas, or perhaps even a pizza
Mm.
base sauce too, just because it's very fitting with the UmamiPapi brand. Because for the listeners that don't know what umami means, umami is the Japanese word for deliciousness or uh, pleasurable taste. And umami is a form of glutamate, which is found in a lot of the foods that we eat that has a lot of flavor. And these foods, for example, would be cured meats, mushrooms, parmesan cheese, ripe tomatoes, grapes are an example. And because Damien is so talented in Italian cooking, I thought, you know, if umami is in tomatoes, perhaps maybe we can do this red sauce, because it would be a
Wow.
great way for us to, you know, expand to the next stage with a new product. And he gets to showcase his amazing talent in the form of a product under the UmamiPapi brand. So that's something that is in the works at the moment. It's in the works.
In the work, so keep watching this space. The what's the second word? Papi. Is that what does that signify anything, or does it just sound good?
Uh, so I suppose it does sound good, because, you know, but the two
It
words put together,
does.
they rhyme. But papi is just means father figure in Spanish,
Okay.
or as millennials would be more, and Gen Zs would be more familiar with, would be daddy. So if you were to translate UmamiPapi to English, it would be Flavor Daddy, because it's like the slogan says, it's chili oil made with flavor. But I think UmamiPapi sounds a lot better off the tongue. And even though it's technically two non-English words, I think UmamiPapi and Papi would be in the dictionary. I'm pretty sure, just because they are, even though it's a Japanese and Spanish words, I feel like they've used quite a lot in the English language anyway, especially especially umami in the world of gastronomy.
Oh yes, it's something that Cooking with Steam's chef Paul talks about as well, and a lot, and a little bit, maybe not a lot. That's a bit over top, but a little bit, and how he's always talking, because we Cooking with Steam. A lot of the questions we get are about, if you're cooking with steam, how do you get colour onto your food? And because colour equals flavour, so we talk about that sort of side of things, but we do discuss the umami factor of food, because we all love eating and cooking with steam. Well, that's amazing, and I just keep looking across at. I've got my other laptop going with the images that you've got of your website and how to order, and I just love the whole story, Ethan, of you starting this during this pandemic and still looking at expanding out. So thank you very much for coming on our Demystified podcast today and telling us about your product, and give us a plug on how people can order your product. And do you ship overseas?
So you guys can head to the website, www.umamipapi.com.au. That's UmamiPapi.com.au. You can order through the website. The Instagram page is It's UmamiPapi, so ITS and then UmamiPapi. Yes, I do ship overseas. I have shipped to the States, Canada, Portugal, the United Kingdom, New Zealand, Singapore, and Malaysia before.
Amazing.
And I think the shipping rates do differ from country to country, but I don't get too many of them as often as I do with my interstate orders and my Metro Melbourne orders. So if you are listening and you're from overseas and you'd love to try this very delicious chili oil, then you can even send me an email, Ethan@umamipapi.com.au, and we could work something out if it doesn't allow you to order online to get it sent to your international country. But that's the plug.
Oh no, that's great, because I know with Demystified, our cookbook, it's the postage overseas that's such a killer. It costs more to post it anywhere overseas, New Zealand, America, Canada, UK, than it does to buy the book. And we can't do anything about it. It's just the Australia Post rates to get it out of our country, and it's a killer for a lot of people that often ask us, we'd love to buy the book, but the postage is so high. So we're working around that, releasing it in January on print on demand, so we can get it around the rest of the world now, which will be great. But it's hard with the product, and we are so far away from everywhere, aren't we, Ethan? Down here in Melbourne, we are, a long way away from most places.
That's very true. That's very true. Yeah, like even like Australia itself is so far from everything, but being in Melbourne, being right at the corner at the bottom, definitely makes us a bit further out than everyone else.
Yeah. Well, Well, thank you so much for joining us on Demystified, and good luck with your product. And let us know. Give us a reach out when you've got your next product ready to go as well. Let us know, and we'll give you a plug.
No worries. Thank you so much for having me, Linda. It's been wonderful. I would love to send you a jar, so please email me when you are willing to take that risk with mushrooms. Obviously, I don't want you to fall ill or anything, but yeah, maybe perhaps do a little bit of research on how shiitake mushrooms may impact you, because that is the only mushrooms. They're the worst? Oh no.
They're the worst ones. That's why I'm just I'm waiting until I'm not ready to see people for a little while, Ethan, and then I will place an order, and when I'm not around people for a little while. It's just not a pleasant sight, let me
Okay.
tell you. But thank you so much.
No worries, Linda.
Good luck with your product. Thanks, Ethan. Bye.
Thank you. See you later, Linda. Bye.
Thanks for listening to this podcast as we explore home cooking in a modern world. We'd love you to subscribe, and for more information, please go to our website, cookingwithsteam.com.